I decided to do my recounts of Lawrence of Arabia kind of clip by clip, answering the questions for each individual scene. So in clip one, it starts out with a bit of a dissonant and eerie sound. This is at the same time as we see the sunrise. This kind of grabs the attention of the audience because you don't really know exactly what's going to happen. It's your first experience with the movie, and it definitely made me wonder what was going to happen. When the scene changed suddenly from the sunrise to the desert, the music also changed from this kind of eerie dissonant sound to this very grandiose orchestration. This took me off, caught me off guard a little bit, although I came to understand that this change between the scene and the music happened at the same time because it was symbolic of the beauty of the desert. And then once the two men on the camels come into clear view, the low camera angle gives the audience the low camera angle gives the men the advantage, and this shows the audience that they'll be important in future scenes. Clip 2 was interesting to me. There was no music at all. Instead, the sounds included camels' feet galloping closer and the gunshot. The cross-cutting between Lawrence and his friend and then the man on the camel shows the audience that they have a relationship somehow. And the lack of music allows us to focus on that relationship. The lack of music, similarly to the dissonant sound in clip one, allowed us to kind of wonder what was going to happen. The lack of music kind of gave me a feeling of curiosity instead of feeling like something bad was going to happen. It was just curiosity in general. While the man on the camel gets closer, the lack of music helped to kind of remain this pure curiosity. And since there was no music, it couldn't alter what I was gonna alter that emotion. It couldn't give away the scene, couldn't tell us whether it was gonna be a bad scene, a triumphant, or anything like that. And so this kind of helps the scene to be successful. It matches the scenery. There aren't very many props around. It's just kind of the vast desert, kind of similar to how there's no music. In clip 3, there is a dissonant sound as the scene depicts the horizon. The volume of the music increases as the man on the camel that we see kind of wakes up and comes to. And once he begins to walk around on his camel, the music becomes more positive and triumphant sounding. And then as the camel begins to go from walk to trotting, running, the tempo also increases with the speed of the camel, and the actor portrays an excited emotion. Um, both of the actors, the one running towards each other, and this can be seen by their eagerness to be near one another. There is a positive tone and an upbeat tempo of the music, and that supplements this eagerness. I think that this scene is trying to pass that excitement from the actors onto the audience, kind of as a sense of relief. They finally found each other, which is successfully done by that tempo. However, the scene feels kind of plain in a way for this, although if their excitement is the result of relief because they're in a vast desert and they finally found each other, then I would say that the scene is fitting. In clip 4, the music contributes to this scene because it shows the audience that people are glad to be reunited and are allies and not enemies. The timbre of this music emphasizes the flowiness of the string instruments, especially the violins, and this paints the scene in a positive light and is successful in making the audience feel excited for their reunion. In clip 5, the majority of this clip, our sound effects consist of hoofbeats, gunshots, and enthusiastic battle cries. When the music does begin, it gives sort of a swirling sensation, and then eventually it resolves into a march-like triumphant sound. And to me, this meant that the people raiding the town were successful. In their endeavor, the swirling feeling of the music aligns with the scene as the stampede is running through the town, and the triumphant resolution is successful in making the audience feel that sense of victory. In clip 6, again, we have no music, but there are many shot transitions between Lawrence, the train, and then the men lined up on the sand dunes, along with the photographer. This demonstrates that they're all connected in some way and they're all witnessing this explosion of the train simultaneously, and the shot transitions kind of help us to see how everyone witnesses that event from their own point of view. In clip 7, we have image tracking of Lawrence as he climbs up the train to have his picture taken. This demonstrates his authority and how he is seen as a hero and highly regarded. We can also gather that he's highly regarded from the chants of the surrounding crowd. And in clip 8, this scene is very chaotic. There's no music, but the audience is made to feel maybe a little bit overwhelmed and kind of invigorated by everything happening. There are many, many props, and the lack of music allows us to fully connect with the actors and the chaos that's happening. There's no music. I think if there were music in this scene, it would kind of distract from the battle that was taking place in front of us. We can hear the actors' battle cries, we can feel the hoofbeats, and we see the firearms as they're being shot at one another and are really able to feel the intensity of this scene because there's no music.